So it appears the audio is not working. So I'm going to try to make another one real quick. But so you want to go to, I thought I already had this pulled up. Hold on. So you want to go to the lab 2.1, right? I know y'all know that. But the overarching question that we're trying to answer is compare the weight of adult cats and dogs at the shelter. Which type of individual has more pets or animals that weigh 20 pounds? Okay. So they're going to say import data set. We want to import animal data. And at the end of the video, I'll import animal data just to remind some of us that may be struggling how to import a file. So there's some extra questions here. I'll give you a hint on number 2. There's 2 of them. Check your notes from Friday, but there's 2 answers here. Question 3, focus on numeric data, and also read this question up here, the big question, and that might be an answer choice. Maybe just click that one. This is the part I want to point out. Don't forget to do the stuff in the middle. They kind of hide the directions in the middle after the 3 like generic questions at the beginning. But the first thing we want to do in RStudio is we want to create a data frame for adults, and they classify an adult. Their definition of an adult animal is any animal that is considered to be at least 1 year of age. So you want to make you're going to have animal, the big data, and then you're going to make a group called adults. And it's going to be any animal that is at least 1 year old. Age is greater than or equal to 1. Okay? And then follow the directions. But first, make your adult group. Make sure you do that first. Then how many? Make your histograms. Now remember, in order to make a histogram, we have an adult group, but that adult group that you make is adult dogs and cats. Okay? So that adult group that you make is adult dogs and cats. If you want to make a histogram of adult dogs, then you need a group that is specifically adult dogs. So you're actually going to make 3 groups here. You're going to make a group that is all adults, that has both cats and dogs in it. Then out of adult group, you're going to make an adult dog group. And then out of adult group, you're going to make an adult cat group. Okay? So you're going to start with animal, and then you're going to pull the adults out. And then now animal does not exist to you anymore. Forget about it. Then out of adult, you're going to make a dog and a cat group. Okay? Then you can make your histogram of the weight variable. There's 2 weights, I believe, in the data set. There's weight and max weight. Max weight is you're a lab, and the max weight of a lab we say is 110 pounds. We don't care about that one. We want the actual weight of the dog. When he walked into the shelter, we put him on the scale. What did he weigh? And then I want to talk about the conclusion for a second, because it's only our second or third lab. But this top part we should all get. This is you spoke English and you wrote in sentences. Don't use bullet points, and don't use like text language or whatever. Just write sentences and we'll be fine. So we should all get these 2 points. The shape of the distributions are accurately described. So I should have a sentence that said the shape of the adult cat histogram was blank. The shape of the adult dog's histogram was blank. The method used to determine, so the actual question, remember, is which type of animal has more individuals weighing at least 20 pounds. Okay? So you can look at the histogram and use that as evidence, but explain the histogram to me. Remember, when you're writing this conclusion, explain this to me like I'm a moron. Okay, don't assume that I know what a histogram is. Explain to me how you know there's more dogs looking at the histogram like I'm 5. Okay. And then the comparison is, there are more dogs or there are more cats. Okay, make sure you have that direct sentence. This is the part I'm worried about. Make sure that we discuss both distributions, and make sure you use the histogram or the 5-number summary to literally explain how do you know there are more dogs that weigh 20 pounds. I mean, that's common sense, but how does the data show that to me? Okay, and then type it here. And then this is where we're going to upload our Google Doc. So I'm going to upload the data set, and then I'm also going to show you how to import a histogram. Okay, so text, let's go slower. So importing animal data, import data set from text, always the data folder, and here your animal data. And rename this whatever you want, but I'm going to rename it, oopsie, animal. Okay, but you can rename it whatever you want. Make sure yes is selected. It always should be, but I'm just going to remind you to make sure it's always checked. Okay, ignore these. These are the notes from yesterday. Okay, so we need a new R script if you don't have one. So to make a new place to type, just hit R script. So here's the data, and here's the weights I was talking about. There's max weight, and then there's regular weight. We're concerned with regular weight. Max weight does not exist, and this is why cats NA, they have a bunch of NA, so we're going to ignore max weight, and it's just what did they actually weigh when they showed up. But I'm going to make a histogram real quick, and then I'm going to show you how we can copy it to Google Doc. So here's my histogram, some random histogram, right? So on your Google Doc, you want to make sure to include your histograms. First period let me know the audio didn't work, so if you're in my first period class and you watch this and you panic, it's okay if you submitted without it, okay? But from here on out, include your histogram on your Google document that you submit as the last question. So how we do it is you go to your histogram, you go to export, copy to clipboard, and then right click on your Chromebook. Right click, I believe, is 2 fingers. If you didn't know that, but y'all probably know computers better than I do. So, and then copy, and then I don't have a Google Doc pulled up, but y'all know how to paste, right? Just copy it and then paste it. And I didn't take the time to label mine. Please label yours. Remember that on the college lab, which is when you're working alone, which it won't happen until like end of October, but they will take off almost 20% of your grade if your histograms are not labeled appropriately. Okay, so make sure we do that. Also, if you have multiple histograms, let me find another. So you're going to make 2 histograms, right? Adult cats and adult dogs. These arrows, you can toggle back and forth. Okay, so once you copy and paste this one, use the arrow, go back to your other one, and then copy and paste that one. So I should see a dog histogram and a cat histogram. All right, I think that about sums it up. So hopefully that's good enough. Submit this. This is due at midnight tonight. So if you don't finish in class, work on it later today. And then remember to email or remind message me questions if you have any. All right.